Yeah, the confetti and everything. Yeah, that's right. That's some Dream Loops, Electro Labs. I'm playing it live. I own that NFT. I'm going to use it to the full capability right there. As you can see, JRR Token, longtime friend, back on the show. Man, we got some live action. We're just going to go into it because we have a huge panel, which we're going to, let's see if we can go to the large screen here and just check everyone out. Boom. I mean, we
got a packed agenda tonight.
It's good. We got a lot of things going on, and that's what I like. Bam, look at that. It's flying in right now. Hot after getting a drink, it looks like. All right, so Token, what are we going to start off with here today?
So this, I'm so excited to start off with End of the World Pizza, and the mastermind behind it, the illustrator Rob Shields, who's with us this evening. End of the World Pizza is something I still try to remember exactly how I got into this, but I feel like it was maybe sometime maybe in May, maybe earlier than that. I came across this End of the World Pizza, which was this unbelievable art. And then I started diving into it and realizing, oh my God, this is way more than just art. This is a guy who has already established himself as a legit comic creator, augmented reality developer. And the roadmap that I saw was like, oh my God, I need to get into this. And I started getting some drivers, and I'll certainly going to let Rob share the whole story and background. But the reason why I was really excited that we got him in is that he's doing his next major drop, which is the Demons, Neon Demons. So without further ado, let me just let Rob introduce himself and tell you a little bit about End of the World Pizza and Neon Demon Drop.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, man. So yeah, Neon Demons is the generative aspect of my project. So just to get just some of the basic stuff out of the way, there's 3,666 demons, and the pre-sale is November 30th, which is next Tuesday, and the public sale is going to be Wednesday, which is December 1st. And so the idea of what I'm trying to build, or what I've been building for the past 5 years, is the comic book of the future. So it's a comic book that it starts off as a physical comic book, but then through augmented reality, it becomes a cartoon. And then when you interact with that cartoon, it invites you to play a video game. So it sort of bridges all those media and then makes the story go across all those media, which is to me like what the metaverse is all about. It's like all the stuff we know and love in one holistic package that is just like there for you. And I do have a trailer that I can share with you guys, which will do a much better job of actually just showcasing like all the stuff, because it's really easy to be like, yeah, that makes sense, like all those things, but to see it in action is kind of helpful.
This is also our first exclusive trailer drop of the Novoverse, so excited.
Yeah, I guess this is
let's
right.
premiere it.
You're right about that. Yeah, if you want to, you can share your screen if you want. There's a little click button somewhere in there. You want to share your screen?
And ready, and then once it's up,
I myself have some of the physical.
Yeah, you got into it.
I have some of the physical comic books coming my way. I have a driver. I've been
driver.
Drop 2, I think I got mine in.
Yeah, and if you have a driver, then you're also going to get one of these demons.
I love the connection to physical. Love that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that the connection to the physical really brings this space alive.
Well, it also like kind of reconnects us to the art and the actual lore of a comic book, and what this is all about. I mean, sometimes I feel like people forget it's just an ETH transaction, a SOL transaction, a JPEG in, a JPEG out. I mean, attach something to a comic book. To me, it's 10 times more real. Just giving props.
I also really like the idea that the stuff you do in the metaverse can actually create things in your physical reality. So I want to build in things where if you unlock secrets in the comic, it might actually ask you for like your mailing address, and then it'll send you something, which will be another thing, like another Easter egg that can unlock more of the comic book. So it's like, I find that in the future, that's what's going to happen. Like the internet's great, but it's so one-dimensional or two-dimensional. And when it becomes three-dimensional, it's just going to be like what we always hoped it could be, I think. So that's what I'm like looking forward to, and that's where my headspace is always at.
If you don't mind me interrupting, my headspace sees it as the fourth dimension. You know, just adding
fourth
in
dimension.
metaverse. Yeah, I mean, you're adding in like a metaverse comic book into the. I mean, yeah, I just think it's the extra dimension. You know,
Yes, exactly.
The
X dimension.
Dimension I love living in.
Yeah.
That avatar is amazing.
Should I play the video?
Let's let it rip. Let's check this out. Can't wait.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Look at you. In. All in. Push all the chips in.
AR that's awesome.
You got me, man. I need this.
AR wow.
I like the music.
The metaverse is here.
Music is courteous of Chrome Kid.
Nice vibe.
Little Tron-esque. I like it.
Cannot wait for this game. 2 games, right?
Yeah, there's 2D and 3D.
When do these games come out?
I'm getting ready to drop the demo for the 2D game really soon, so people on the Discord can actually grab it. There's also 2D animation.
Well, I'm gonna have to look out for that. I'm all for games and NFTs. Love it.
Whoever made this video gets a lot of props. This is a great video.
Yeah, it's just really produced well.
The Machine Queen, nice. Oh, so good. Everything.
The logo is so perfect too. I love it. I need this. I can buy this right now.
No, so you can't mint the demons yet, but there are other things available. The End of the World Pizza, Undead Drivers. So the idea is in this metaverse, it's a metaverse where people have sort of divorced themselves completely from reality, where they don't have bodies anymore. So it's kind of like they're all Cypher from the Matrix. They like all want to be into it, and they live in this metaverse. It's like a cyber horror metaverse, and this AI comes out and it steals everyone's face, which is why they're all skulls. And then they have to sort of fight against this AI to try to get their faces back. And so the Endo drivers are the sort of the quote unquote heroes, and then the demons are the quote unquote villains. But depending on how you inhabit them, you can have like anti-heroes or anti-villains, and they can like cross over and do different things. So the way I'm going to tell the story is by giving people scenarios that they can make choices in, and depending on what the audience does, that's what's going to happen in the story.
That's really cool, man.
I cannot wait. And I have my driver. So Rob's been building out the craziest community. I feel like it's the most like stealthiest, most amazing NFT project out there that's like people need to know about. It's just wild. And I ended up getting a driver, and that ended up giving me utility to get some, into raffles, into other experiences within the Discords. And then he started doing all these interesting drops with special slices of pizza that have other utility. So I got a driver. That's it. That's Novo's driver. I got a driver myself. I now have a car, which will let me fly around like you were seeing in that video game. And I got these slices of pizza, which I think you said, because I have all 4 slices now, I'm going to be able to resurrect the living dead or something in the metaverse. I don't know, something crazy.
Well, yeah, you're going to get 2 free demons now, and then you can use those to possess the driver, which is going to just make another one-of-one NFT that's handcrafted, that only you can have. That'll be based on your demons and your specific driver. And then that could also play into the storyline. So everyone's going to have like a shadow version of themselves.
Yeah,
and then on top of it, which I got in on early, was just the allude to, and I'm a comic book fan, is just like the physical comic books as well that are going to be, going to be shipped out, which is just awesome. And that I just love hearing that as well. And just built on top of it, there's so many layers to the story that I just enjoy hearing.
Yeah, definitely something I'm looking forward to. You said the mint is on the 30th, right? Next Tuesday?
The pre-sale is on the 30th, and then the public sale is December 1st.
Oh, okay. Yep, how do we get in on that pre-sale?
If you join the Discord, no, we still have. We're trying to do more pre-sale. So if you join the Discord, we'll have announcements when it's going to happen, And then also if there's just like people that are active, we can just give them, it's called the chosen. That's the role you get. And then if you're on that role, you'll get access to the pre-sale date.
That's great. I'm definitely going to look into that. And JR just sent me the link here. This is really cool. Awesome project, man. The aesthetic is so nice. I love the colors. I love how it all blends in. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love to use colors too. And oh yeah, this week we're gonna debut our skateboard. So I'm doing like AR skateboards, and eventually I'm gonna sell all this stuff, and then the some of the profits, like 50% of the profits that we make on the merch, will go to the community wallet to help go back to people and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a whole. I didn't really touch on all the details of the roadmap, but it's like the comic book, the video game, all that stuff that I showed. It's more exciting than. There's other stuff too, but I don't want to get all technical.
Oh, Decentraland just blew. Look, I saw that. Love that. Oh, cannot wait. So yeah, hopefully this all gets sold out quickly and we could go ahead with this amazing project. It's so awesome, and it's been such a crazy ride, so to speak, from this first time I found it and I said, oh, quickly I had to. I got in super early where I was able to get in before his driver drops, which are selling out in like less than 2 minutes. Every Saturday. Managed to get in early so I could grab one, but now it's pretty much impossible. So I'm glad you're doing this larger project with the demons to get more people into the community here. It's going to be a crazy journey. I can't wait for those games, the comics, the merch. This is going to be dope.
I have some questions, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, go for it, for sure.
So I looked at the art's great. I mean, the story's great, the lore is great. I love the utility, everything about it. My question, what's minting on the 30th? Is that going to be on its own contract? I see the current stuff is on OpenSea's contract, so I'm asking that question because of that.
Yeah, so it's going to have its own specific contract, and then the secondary will be pushed out into OpenSea. So once it's sold, it'll be on OpenSea, but it will have its own unique contract.
Would you ever consider migrating the original one to its own contract after this next drop?
You mean the end of the world pizza stuff? It's like I'm working with a company that's helping me do the generative and the Solidity development, so that's not in-house, but yeah, I would definitely. I mean, I'm open to anything like that.
The reason why you would eventually do that is because if you have further utility after this next drop, it would be hard to do it with the pieces that are on OpenSea's contract, I believe. I think at some point you want to have it all on its own contract. And, I'm just asking these questions. I think later on down the line, you may think that that's more useful. That's all.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Thankfully, like the drivers are only 128. So I'm like, anything that I promise through like unlocking, I can do manually at this point because it's a smaller collection. But yeah, I can see what you're saying where like if I wanted to roll out something quickly to everybody, that would be beneficial to have them all together in one group.
Yeah, we actually just went through this process with our own project because our original generation, which was like 120, was on OpenSea's contract.
Okay.
And we found a lot of issues with that. We just migrated over. It was a pretty smooth process.
Let's talk about that. That might be a good transition.
Those are great points.
Yeah, I was about to ask. That interests me. How does that process work? Do you kind of have your current users go mint on a website where they burn the OpenSea token and they create a new one, or how does that work?
So it's actually interesting. So we actually migrated it over for them. We created a new collection. Our original OpenSea collection was a verified collection too. So there's a little, I guess, optic consideration that comes into place because you're basically moving from an old collection to a new collection that doesn't have the same history. We replaced the old images through the metadata with basically an image with a message on it that says this has been migrated over. And then for the new collection, we basically migrated over onto the current contract. So it kind of sits as two separate collections. But if you have a close-knit community and only a handful of NFTs in that collection, it's something you should definitely consider.
Cool, that's awesome because that's definitely something we would like to do in the future.
Yeah, cool. Well, and we'd be happy to help you with that if you're interested.
Oh, for sure.
So Rob, to wrap up with the End of the World Pizza, and then also with the demon drivers that are coming out. All right, the neon demons. What's all right? So you got Discord coming up. What else could people do to tune in? Because there's not going to be too many of these. And what I've seen in the past is these things are usually fly right off the shelf.
I mean, yeah, the number one thing is just to join the Discord, which is discord.gg/neondemons, and it's the Latin spelling, it's DAEMONS, which is what programmers use that to talk about background programs. So that's where it comes from. I'm not trying to be like Latin about it. I'm just trying to do the computer thing, which can be kind of confusing to people. But yeah, it's also not a movie starring Elle Fanning, so that's also a good thing. There's a movie called Neon Demon that's like all over
Demon
Google,
Tools was a Demon Tools critical PC app. Got me through college.
And then we have it right here as well at Neon Demons right there where you have the Discord, you have the roadmap, you have your link to Twitter. I'm definitely gonna be following it. I know JRRtoken and myself follow it really closely, and I can't wait to see what I'm gonna get. What's gonna be coming my way, and I love the art of it. I love the idea of it, the storyline, all of it. So thank you for bringing that to light.
Is the reveal going to be right away, or is there going to be a timed
There's going to be a time reveal, it'll depend on what happens, but it won't take that long. But yeah, we'll have a hidden image, and then there'll be a reveal date, so we'll have like a reveal party.
Awesome.
I kind of like that. It's like opening like a baseball card pack, just kind of like waiting to open that present up. And speaking of opening things up, we're gonna head back right over to another guest. Thank you, JRRtoken. Token, if you got to go take care.
Hey, I'll let you know. If I have to bounce, I'll blip out. No worries. But Rob, thank you so much. You could hang out, of course, through the stream if you want to hang and chat with us. You're welcome to stick around. But thank you so much for giving us that preview of that awesome trailer. Good luck with the demon drop. I can't wait. Pumped for it.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes. And
congratulations.
Right around the time that we wanted to have you guys on at 9:15 Central Time. All right. So we got two from the crew. We have H. Bizzle in the house, right?
What up?
All right.
What up?
And so what do you guys got going on here? How many is in your guys' collection here? Because we were talking about a little bit smaller collection. Now we have 3,000 within this collection. Is that correct?
Yeah, so just to quickly run through our different collections, and you could actually go to ChibiLabs.io, and that'll show all the different collections in there. So I was mentioning the first collection, which was a 200 collection. The second one we sold in September was the Chibi Apes you just had on the screen. That was 3,000. And then we just dropped Chibi Galaxy, which was 3,500. So in total, we have 6,700 3D generative art characters. Varying in kind of look and feel and aesthetic, but all kind of having the same, same semblance of a feel with the 3D imagery. And if you go on our site, I see you clicking through it right there. What we're doing, what I believe is really different. I mean, we've seen kind of the 2D wave, come and go. But I think as you think about getting projects and NFTs ready for the metaverse, our characters are, fully rigged 3D characters that are ready for metaverse, AR integration, and, application kind of beyond what we're seeing. So when you think about gamification, play to earn, video game integration, that's kind of where we're pushing the boundaries of the NFT space right now. So I like to think of us as kind of bridging that gap between, the current art in its current state right now and where I think the space is going in the future.
And that's what I am seeing here is I love that, as you're saying, that 3D aspect. And if you're talking about AR filter, stuff like that, I mean, you're talking to the right people here where you are seeing that, not just what you're seeing on the surface, but what you could see all the way around, because that's what you're going to need in the metaverse.
Let me ask you a question. Sorry,
go for it.
I'm fascinated with what you're doing right now on the YouTube stream. How easy would it be? So we give all of our holders the 3D files. They're sitting right there. You could go to chibiapes.com/collection/2. That would just be mine. But how hard would it be for you to put that into a YouTube filter like that?
It would probably take someone to make. You guys have the rigging, so all it'd take is probably one of our artists about, I don't know, about 4 to 5 hours to create one for each one of these. So I mean, because they're very individualized, so it'd be one at a time. So about 3 or 4 hours, and then it would just pretty much be dropped on an AR filter instead of using your zoom camera. You just switch it over to snap camera, a lens, and then it pops right up, just like you're seeing with myself and JRR Token. If I can get the right camera in
My
here.
thing's, I'm using a little different thing.
Yeah, you probably got the high
Mine's
grade
gloomy.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
mine's
cool.
a little, my next level thing. But yeah, you could do a snap cam and it'll work. But yeah, you could build those as long as you got the 3D assets. It makes it even easier. So
That's what I was curious about. Is it easier that we come 3D ready?
Well,
yes,
I mean, that's just
always.
that's just what people are going to want in the future. They're going to want to be able to talk about their NFTs. They're going to want to talk about their individual NFTs to promote it. Not only promote your guys' product as a whole, but their own product selfishly. I mean, that's what you're kind of seeing with the Bored Apes doing with making out with T-shirts and shoes and Arizona iced tea. Right on down the list is where they're able to take their individual property and expand off of it. And
Yes.
that's what I try to do with the AR filter here.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a big feature for ours, for us and our collectors. So our collectors own the underlying IP. We see this as a huge play to commercialize this brand, the ChibiLabs brand, and all of our underlying generations. But even more so, I think brand is extremely important. Just what you're saying with the apes, that's something that we have in mind, that we really want to enable and empower our collectors to take their IP and do really great things with it. And we're giving them the opportunity to do that by providing them with the 3D files, 3D characters being rigged. Metaverse is obviously a big play for us. After we sold our Chibi Apes collection, we went out and we made a significant purchase in Decentraland. Bought a pretty significant plot there. We had the last slice and last slice blue and last dream.
The slice.
Come out and build us like the craziest, most next level scenes.
I wish you could take us there. If you go to Last Slice, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Last Slice because let's see, 1, 2, 3 members on tonight's stream are Last Slicers.
Yes, we are.
Let's go.
Last Slicer too. So,
Nice.
And it is a wonderful community. If you need
I love the Chibi party. It was awesome the other night. I'm so jealous I don't have my Chibi Wings sweatshirt. But
hit one of us up. I'll hook you up.
Hit me up. I'll get you. Oh, I got you.
I will. Thank you. So awesome. It was like next level Ewok Village, but with a rave. I loved it. It was so cool. It's so
insane.
Big. It's so expansive.
It is big. This was H. Bizzle's dream. He bought 16 contiguous parcels next to each other so he could build this fucking massive high jungle. And like if you look up in the sky, it's galaxy. So it merges our Chibi Apes collection with our Chibi Galaxy collection. And like for us, it's really important because like I can't even tell you our first party, which was 2 weeks ago post drop. We had, I think, maybe like 1,000 people in there. We had, I think, 300 concurrents at one time. But like, these are all people who have never been in the metaverse before. Like, people throw out the term, Mark Zuckerberg is talking about it, and people are like, what the fuck if Facebook's doing it? But like, we're actually bringing people into Decentraland. And like, I don't necessarily believe that Decentraland is like the end all be all because we're exploring a lot of other metaverses right now.
It's a good start.
It's a good start. I like to say our characters are metaverse ready, but like I don't think a lot of the metaverses are ready for our characters. So,
Decentraland is not ready for our characters. There's too many polys. By the way, Crypto Novo, I shared something in private chat. If you don't mind sharing that screen that shows the whole scene.
Problem.
Decentraland can't handle us yet, but maybe in their downloadable client things will change. That would be cool. But even if not, some of the other places I think are going to be able to handle us right away. Like. Dare I mention it? I don't want to say the names, but there are a few different places we've spoken to that can handle our characters right away. I'll say it. Leapin. They've been doing great.
Yeah, you can talk about anyone. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like anyone's enemies in this space. So here's some footage right here. I was actually have Doc send me the DCL the link for it, but actually all these people on it would probably just be running slow. But I mean, I did actually have a chance to look at this.
Great.
Yeah, it was pretty bad ace, as they say in some parts of the world.
We're
So I have
always
to say,
yeah.
I was going to say these guys rushed to get the scene ready. Noodle killed it on the development side, and obviously Lastrom's just like a killer on the on the dev side. But from our perspective, we're trying to change the game. Like even in Decentraland right now, we're figuring out like what kind of play to earn games can we build.
Can I
within
tell
our
them?
Scene. Tell them.
Please
Yes.
do, man.
Yeah.
I'm a huge play to earn
Tell us
nerd. I need
now.
it. I need the play to earn, man. Come on.
We all do. That's the real alpha.
Yep.
We're not in descent. If he goes back to in the beginning of that scene, there was a city, and let's consider maybe there's like 4 stores there, or 4. There's like 4 little areas you could go into. So what we're gonna do in the most basic format is we're gonna put like different colored gems in very easy to get to places along the path going up. You need to get all 5 gems, and then you bring the gems back to one of those little stores in the village or the city, whatever. And you put the gems on a conveyor belt. They go through one conveyor belt, come out the other side as chips, like computer chips. You then take the computer chips and you walk into another store and you go through like a maze of like, just like kind of like walls. It's all white space everywhere. So just imagine that I'm going to put up everybody's art or whatever upcoming drops or community drops that are coming up. People in the community that are dropping stuff that are active in this play to earn game would have first right to put up their art there, whatever. They take the computer chips, they drop it in an ATM machine, they get a coin. In that process, it will take, let's say, 5 minutes or so. There's going to be a ton of white space for advertising, which I think is a revenue stream potentially. I know advertising is a bad like Web 2 advertising, but still it's something, because in this space, if I could guarantee I have 500 to 1,000 users coming back every day, then it does mean something for future drops to get airspace. And the way that I'm going to do that is that coin that you're going to get after going through all those steps, there's going to be a multiplier. So if you come 2 days in a row, it's time 1.1. Day 3, 1.2, et cetera, and so forth. So the idea is we're going to create a number of leaderboards for whoever has the most amount of coin, whoever has had the best time today, whoever has had the best time over the week. I think people want to be on the leaderboard and they want to see their name. And then people on the leaderboard will open that up to opportunities, whether they want to advertise within Decentraland or whether they want to be maybe the star character in our animated series.
I think the point is the play to earn is going to create the stickiness in the metaverse, but even across projects. So like for us, it's like if we could figure out how to like give value back to our community. And even he said advertising, like building a self-sustainable community without having to do a drop every like month to raise more money, like a lot of these projects are doing. We feel like we've finalized our collection and we have all of our characters out there now. Now it's time to really build on that, and that's something that's really important to us. So.
Damn, I'm really excited for the future of this. I mean, I was excited because I like my reveals. I like my 2 chibis that I got. But it was like, I like them. They're cool. But now I'm excited about all the stuff that's coming.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure. I got number 3,278. I really liked that one. It has gold skin and a little samurai helmet. It's awesome.
278, you said?
3,278.
278. I'll check it out. Oh, that's dope. He's got the Tom Brady jersey on too.
Yeah.
Samurai
that was a pretty good pull.
There it is right there, Crypto Borat.
Oh yeah.
So again, like we always like wanted to go futuristic with our collections. Our last one were apes, not to copy the other apes, but we created kind of our own unique version of them. But this is like really the futuristic, the Galaxy collection, which is tying the whole lore back to the beginning. And obviously the lore is something important to us because like, when I talk about commercialization, I want to think about like, physical collectibles, creating animated series for kids. Like this is something that definitely will resonate with children. It will resonate with people of all ages. This also makes you feel like a kid again. Like I love collecting these things. That's what drew us to the project in the first place.
That is pretty neat. That I like the look of it, the futuristic look of it, and then just the attention to detail. I could see this like this in the shading and the coloring, all the way down to the boots. Yeah.
Oh, go to 3. Quickly go to 3 because we were talking. You made a reference earlier. If you go on the top, you just change it to 3. Yeah, the last three numbers. So this is my honorary chibi. This is the Tron chibi. I know someone referenced Tron earlier. I thought this is
That
good
is
one.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks really
nice
cool.
with the discs. Great.
And I could see that transferring very well into the metaverse. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, bringing it into multiple ones. You know, Decentraland. If it's something else in the future, Sandbox, whatever. I mean, this looks really sharp, really cool.
Yeah, I have to give
Thank you.
a lot of props to our artist and developer. He's an engineer by trade. He creates this amazing artwork. His name's Fabs. He was so forward thinking in all of this. He was building all of this over the summer with the intention of, you know, bringing these characters into these different environments. So I was saying, like, you don't see collections that are already rigged for these different environments. J2 Jetpacks reached out to us and wanted to do a partnership, and we're like, all right, here are our files. And then all of a sudden we were in an activation of theirs at NFT NYC. So like, it gives us the opportunity to do a lot of things. And as H. Bizzle mentioned before, we actually have a 3D viewer on our website where you could see your chibis in 3D, see the whole thing. You can, you know, circle around it. But there's also an AR tool that you could bring up on your smartphone, and you can literally drop your chibi wherever you are. So like, we were at the Knick game the other night and we literally put a massive chibi on the floor, took a picture, and then posted it. So like, even the AR functionality is next level.
I was showing them something else. Sorry, I didn't show them the AR thing. I could show them a link for the AR stuff if you want, though.
I don't know that they're gonna be able to pull it up, but even if you have a video, that'd be cool.
No, you know what I have? I have just us at MSG.
Oh yeah, do it.
So I was in the meantime, while I get that link, I was just showing them. What I wanted to do is just give a little bit of the story. If you guys could pull up that picture right there of the Bitcoin kid on the left and where we are today. This was like me kind of having fun yesterday. So a little bit of a story in the history, if you don't mind, how this
Go
came
for
to
it.
be. So Fabs is an artist, a brilliant artist, and he made these 3D characters, what we call Chibi's Genesis. Today it's on its own contract. Before it was Chibi's NFT. We migrated, so it looks a little funny in the accounts, but that's the story. And I'm so happy. I actually hope it stays that way forever because I love seeing the migrated contract. That's what this whole entire story for Chibi's was about. And here we go. I've gotten good at this in 60 seconds or less. In June, actually, it was May 25th I started. May 25th, I bought my first Bored Ape at 0.39. I also bought that Bitcoin kid at 0.4. So I paid a little bit more for the Bitcoin kid than I did my first Bored Ape, which is kind of interesting. And how I arrived at that, I just saw like these chibis in someone's wallet. I liked the 3D art. It caught my eye. That thing reminded me of myself as like I used to be a Bitcoin maxi and obviously think highly of myself. So the king. So I couldn't get away from it. And then I started studying the chibis and going into the Discord. They had drop after drop, week after week with little boxes. Went in and there was a game. Whoever got the most chibis before 96 got a free alien. I bought up 16, started speaking to the artist, and it was around the time I got one of my CryptoPunks, and the guy who helped me get my CryptoPunk broker, he goes to me, hey, what's with those chibis in your account? You know, what's up with them? And I was like, oh, I love the art. He's like, well, they're on OpenSea's contract. So I said something to the artist, Fabs, and I said, Fabs, what are we going to do? Are we going to make a generative contract? And he's like, H. Bizzle, dude, you don't know what you're asking for. That's a ton of work. We don't have a developer. Like, no, this is it. And I was like, no. I'm a New Yorker. We don't quit. I have 16 of your things. There's no chance. No way. I'm not walking away from this. So I said, what if I bring in some people? I brought in Spasta. I brought in Fubar, who's highly talented Solidity developer. Also has a pretty good big following from doing a couple projects early on. And we sold out 3,000 Chibi Apes in 20 seconds. It was like a crazy bum rush for our product. We listed it at 0.025. Only 3,000 units. They sold out in 20 seconds. We went through Chibi Apes. And then we said, hey, the next time around that we do this, we're going to make sure that we give everybody like the most fair possible shot. I mean, that was 8-10 weeks ago when everybody was getting crushed on Gas Wars. And then this time around, we did a pre-sale. We allowed our current holders to have access to mint early and to get a discount. Spasta, do you want to kind of cover it there, how the contract was a little bit complicated and where we are today?
Yeah, I think to sum it up, it's amazing the journeys that a lot of us have taken to get here. We started as collectors. I actually brought H Bizzle in indirectly to the NFT space. I've been probably in the space for a year. I've been in Bitcoin and the blockchain space for a long time though. But it's just it's amazing how like you find opportunities. Our artist was in a position where he was like ready to give up because he couldn't sell his first collection. We came in, revived the project, and we have 40,000 people in our Discord right now. We have a really vibrant, really engaged community. I mean, like, look at this right now. This is one of our collectors who's watching the live stream right now. And
you guys see us in the background there?
He's got his AR. He's got his AR viewer up with his chibi right there in the foreground.
We're on TV.
He's got our live
We're on
stream.
TV. Everyone look in the background. I'm getting weirded out, man.
This is a simulation. If there
is this now?
So. This is now.
Yes,
I love
right
that.
now.
Anyway,
my
looks
favorite
so
joke
good.
ever. Because whenever I do Zoom and I go to my own screen, it's like, it goes, it's like just me forever, But look at that. We put ourselves right on MSG.
That's cool.
I'll just say I'll wrap it up because I think we're hogging a lot of the air right now. But I just want to say it's like it's amazing how the evolution of these projects happen, the evolution of the space is happening, and it's like we continue to come on to things like this. We're in spaces almost every single night because as much as we're educating people, we're also learning. So it's like it's really helpful for us. It's like that's how we found Last Stream and the Last Slice crew. That's how we found out about Decentraland early and some of the other metaverses. So it's just like continuing to educate yourself, and while this space evolves, you have to evolve your process with it.
And that's what I'm trying to do in this space. And like, I can't get around to all the projects, but what I do is I'm able to sit here and listen to you guys, and you guys are able to guide me through all the awesomeness that's going on, dropping these filters, right on center court, having, friends right here. GT Dog, that's a definite follow right now. Having GT Dog, watching us live, having us filter pop up, being able to share that. I mean, that is Web 3.0 if I've ever seen it as quick as it's ever come. They're showing it to us live and direct right there. Really cool stuff. What do you want people to do to buy some of these? All right. Is that just happening right here on OpenSea? Is it best to go to you guys on Twitter so they can click away there?
I shared a link to the Galaxy. If you want to just cycle through that, that's where we are currently on OpenSea. We did 50 ETH in our drop, which is pretty recent. That's the current collection, and that would be kind of the most modestly priced collection. The step up from there would be Chibi Apes on OpenSea. It's small step up. I think the floor there is 0.15. And then our Genesis collection, the floor is 1.1, but those are only 126 units right now. And then in general, we have 3 collections, and there certainly will be utility to owning each of our collections. In this particular drop, we gave away a hologram Chibi Galaxy to anyone that had a previous generation G1 and G2.
Oh, so that's where the holograms came from. Okay.
Yeah,
and that's
a 1 ETH floor right now. So it's like just a gift to our existing collectors, early adopters from our Genesis collection.
That's awesome. That's really cool that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's spreading the wealth and giving back to the community that you guys have created. That's awesome. I love seeing it. Speaking of communities here, we have talked a little bit about Last Slice, and one of those members, CryptoPjr, back on you were on maybe like 2 weeks ago, I would say, something around those.
I think it was last week. Time doesn't make sense anymore. I don't know if everyone else is in the same situation here, but
what do you mean? Because none of us have slept in 6 months?
Probably.
My favorite part about the GM is I just do it randomly at hours of the day now.
Yeah, I don't post GM in the morning anymore. It's like, it's 6. All right, 6 p.m. GM, everyone.
Yeah.
It's always GM somewhere,
GM is like I'm just getting started in whatever I'm about to do,
Yeah.
So I had a friend around the hometown that we were sitting down talking crypto. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and it's eventually gonna bridge into some NFT tequila here. NFT tequila. but I wanted to bring on a good friend from pretty much right down the street from where I lived, right here, and Fatal Radel. And I love the idea that we were sitting down and talking about of homes on chain. And it's been something that you guys have been brainstorming in the Chicagoland, my neck of the woods. So how about you give us the little info on what you have brewing here?
Sure. Thanks, Crypto. Yeah, so we plan on launching and minting in Q1 of next year. The NFT will be a true utility NFT, meaning that we want to mint your home on the blockchain. And we want to wrap that in an NFT essentially. So the concept is that upon minting, you'll be given a placeholder, and then you'll be able to go to our website, connect your wallet, and then be able to upload pertinent metadata to your physical asset in the real world, your home or a building per se. Our first generation, Gen 0, will be 5,000 homes. You'll be able to purchase a maximum of 5. And in this overall roadmap that'll be updated on our website coming December 1st, and then on the 15th, and then obviously on the 1st, will be 10 generations, meaning that there's a lot of homes in the US or worldwide, and that we want to build the first platform that will enable you to mint your home on the blockchain. So what does that really mean? Well, first of all, we have to authenticate who you are, right? That you own the asset, where you live. Things like title deed, maintenance records, actual assets that are tied to your physical location or your home. From there, as we get deeper into our generations and we're able to build the project out further, we'll be able to do pictures, eventually, as it says in the deploy section, real 3D renderings of your home, meaning that you'll be able to upload those to the metaverse, and they'll be accurate down to the inch, centimeter per se. So this project really came out of our company's experience, and I say company because we're a non-Aon team. We've been in the smart home and intelligent building system for over 15 years. We have quite a few in-house developers, in-house marketing. We have a team of 8 currently, and we plan to grow that basically. And the end goal is to just take that process of all those assets that are somewhat non-digital and wrap them in an NFT, meaning that we think in the future, when you go to buy or sell your house, what's the easiest way to do that, right? Typically, it's done at a closing table with a title company. There's lawyers involved. There's a real estate broker. And it's not a real pleasurable experience if anyone's ever bought and sold real estate in the space. Has anyone done that here or no?
Not my cup of tea.
Planning on it.
I don't imagine it's fun, so I have not done that.
No, and
I love this so much. I have to say, this is amazing. I've been just thinking about this nonstop, about this use case, and I'm so glad you made it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
One thing I was talking about with Fatal Riddle about was just like how complex all that crap is. I mean, to dumb it down, like you have so many layers of like what you have to do to fricking sell your house. Like, why not simplify it? Why not have your home inspection in there? Why not? I mean, why not? It's easy to get a LiDAR scanning of your house so you can find the nooks and crannies that are in your house. Why not have a VR virtual tour in there? I mean, nowadays that's totally feasible and easy to, I shouldn't say easy to do, but it's not impossible to do. And why not have that doable, stuff all layered in there? So, all right. So you're saying Q1, I mean, you're talking like a couple weeks here. You're going to be minting houses. All right. Walk me through that. I mean, is it your house? Is it my house? Is it the dog house? What are you doing?
So within 2 to 3 weeks, my home, the one I'm talking to you from, we'll have that minted on the blockchain. And then one of our other lead developers, we're going to mint his rental apartment on the blockchain. And those are specific to us and our, let's say, contract that we're developing. On the 1st of January, Q1, when you're able to go to our site and mint, you're going to get placeholders, almost like the BioPills key that was given out, right? Where you're going to have that placeholder. And then when you go to our site, connect your wallet, you'll be able to upload your metadata to your home. And if that's a picture of it, or you want to put up any other avatar or an artistic rendering of your home, you can do those things, and that'll be represented in the actual NFT. So it has anyone been to the ENS site and actually, uploaded the various metadata to that site yet, or not?
I don't know about the metadata, but I transferred it so it matches my domain.
Sure. That process, you were able to connect your wallet. You were able to pull up the drop-down menu and then actually type in the domain name to your website, and then you save that.
I'm sorry, I didn't do that. I connected it to my wallet. I wanted to know how to do that. I didn't know how to do it.
So the process will be similar, that our website's going to provide those tools to you as you own that.
The first question I had about your product, first of all, I love it.
Thank you.
It appears to me that this is not a one-time mint. This is an ongoing mint, like ENS. You will go to the website and always be able to register your address, and you become the de facto place to mint your current home on the blockchain. But that stays open forever. That's an ENS type product.
Correct. So our plan is to keep up generation after generation. So the first, Gen 0's 5,000. When we sell out, the next day we will roll over to 10,000 homes. Once that sells out, roll over to 20,000 homes.
So what's the benefit? What's the benefit to being a Gen 0, like a token drop?
You'll get part of secondary sales. We're going to have access to real estate conferences, a lot of real world value.
Imagine getting secondary. I hate to cut you off. Imagine getting secondary sales of a house, like forever. Like if you built it, you know why that's on it. You get
so secondary sales of the mints, not the actual homes.
Yes.
Our roadmap has a marketplace per se, meaning that once we get to generation 6, 7, we'll have a marketplace open where you'll be able to do those things, and obviously our original holders will be taken care of per se.
What's your first name?
Mike.
You know what's a lot more powerful than Mike trying to sell this against the whole world? A lot more powerful is 5,000 ambassadors. The first 5,000, getting them some benefit, or even airdropping them 2 free mints that they have to recruit 2 people to get into the system with.
I like it.
That's I don't know. We could walk through that offline, but to have an army of 5,000 people to onboard the world with this is going to be powerful.
I agree 100%. And a part of our approach here in Chicago, and then our dev teams out in California, is to bring some local people on board. So sure, we're in this space of NFT natives per se. That's one of our marketing arms. Our other marketing plan is to get some newbies in the space, meaning some real estate agents, some title company people. And as you're saying, we like to bring on some ambassadors. And, I will bring that up to my team. I think that's a great way to maybe, kind of talk about our generation 0 and duly noted per se. But yes, we understand that for us to be successful, we have to get past Gen 3 to 4, meaning that this is a very technical lift for us. Our development team's obviously been in the space, but what this really is, and where I see value in our utility, meaning a true utility, is that we're going to do a lot of Web 2.0 to Web 3 integrations, because for us to really, become the authentication factor, meaning that we've really nailed down that you own the asset, or if it's a building that you own a portion of that, right? Meaning that you're on the deed, that there's some operational docs, things that need to be secure, that can be secure. But then there's other things that, you might want to share with your real estate agent, right? So there's a ton of technical layers here, but we feel that our team's well positioned to do so because we've been in the space. We've done everything from a smart hotel with Me Miami and the Malia brands. We recently finished the Internet of Fitness platform with Lifetime Fitness. So we look at APIs and SDKs all day long, but we're really understanding that the values in connecting those with Web 3.0, and then essentially, as we all know, single sign-on, right? So in the smart home business or the intelligent building business, all these devices are fragmented, scattered. You have different username and logons for all those. Imagine just connecting your wallet to your Nest thermostat, right? Or your Ring doorbell, because those are assets that require username, passwords, and there's all this authentication layer that we can kind of move out of the way, have a single sign-on platform that enables you to upload these physical assets, digital assets to the Web 3.0 and ultimately the metaverse.
Yeah, Web3 solves all that. I love how this is, I mean, people that know me, I'm all about let's bring more people into this space. Let's bring more people into the metaverse, into the NFT space, into crypto in general. And this, I feel like your project really helps people that would have really never looked at the crypto space or at the NFT space at all to really be like, oh, okay, wait, this is something that's not just a JPEG. It's something that actually has a use in real life. That's what it's all about. I love that, man.
Thank you. And it's real interesting to talk to friends and family about this, because there's all these buzzwords, and then as you're talking about that, you have to get someone to buy some ETH somewhere, right? And then whether it's through Coinbase Pro, and maybe they want to allocate a little bit of their portfolio to that, and then it's okay. Now you have to transfer that to MetaMask, and then you're going to connect that to our site to mint your home, and all these newbies, their minds just blown, and they're like, okay, but they understand that there's some utility to it, because they've either bought or sold a home, or they're in real estate, and they know that it's a real old school fragmented process that we understand as a technology company can be a lot easier and much more simpler. And we think the beauty is that we're going to wrap it in an NFT, right? And that's really where the development team's really excited about this, because we do everything from working with back to do API website development, and this is a whole new project for us. Everyone's really excited and really appreciate everyone's time here tonight. And you can go to our website, homesonchain.io. That's our .eth address as well. We'll be updating that. The current artwork on there is going to be changed out in a couple weeks. We brought on two professional design groups that we've worked with before. They're both kind of in the artistic NFT rock space per se. So we'll be having some new artwork put up and really get ready for us to mint first of the year.
Man, that's awesome. I want to make sure we're keeping tabs on that right after the first of the year for sure.
Great.
Thanks. We're talking about utility, and how about utility right out of the box?
Yeah.
With CryptoPjr and the NFT tequila right here. And I know that Fredo Redo has actually had some questions about the tequila. So why don't you start off with a question to lead it off for CryptoPjr here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, so was just looking over the project, but it seems like that there's a real world aspect of this. I prefer tequila at any liquor that I do ever consume, which is rarely, but tequila's up there. I like the blancos and the añejos.
Añejo, yeah.
Yo soy gringo.
That was perfect, man.
Yeah, but I guess just please enlighten us on how we're going to get dropped those bottles, and I was just going to pick up a couple here, but gas is out of the world on those right now. So I'll grab some later tonight though, for sure.
That has come to hurt us a bit actually.
Yeah,
since it's a project that's not very expensive, 0.15, and it's like I'm gonna pay $200 in gas for that. Come on, I get it completely. Yeah. So yeah, you mean for the real world part, how the actual tequila? Okay, so we have as I to Crypto Novo in the previous stream. I live in Jalisco, in Guadalajara, Jalisco. This is like 40 minutes away from a little town called Tequila, Jalisco, which is where tequila is made. That is where you have to go, with a couple exceptions around Mexico, 2 or 3 exceptions, but most of the tequila in the world is produced in Tequila. So we have some nice connections through some networking that we've been doing throughout the years with some distilleries there. And actually, in our recent pinned post, you could see one of the bottles from one of those distilleries from Ollitas, is what they're called. It's really delicious. I recommend it. Those photos, actually,
Awesome
we took them to get a nice little professional photo shoot. We took those bottles to get a nice little photo shoot. But yeah, so our project wants to kind of, we want to bridge to real life by giving a very simple utility initially that people can understand. If you own an NF Tequila, you can go to the Ollitas distillery in Tequila and you get your tour for you and a +1. You learn how the whole process works, how tequila is made. It's really fun too, because throughout the they're giving you shots constantly of recently made tequila in that moment, like straight out of the barrel. So that's a cool little thing we have there. And of course, the bottle drops, like you mentioned. As the project advances and throughout the whole project, we'll be giving away bottles of tequila, cases of tequila as well. These bottles you see there in the picture, those are there's special edition bottles for the Day of the Dead. You know, the Dia de los Muertos. You know, that's a thing over here. These are some special edition bottles for that. And we're giving away that's going to be our first giveaway at different milestones throughout the project, obviously. And yeah, so we would send those. We're a 3-person team. We're all family. It's me and 2 cousins. One of my cousins was in charge of all the actual designs and stuff. I'm a coder. I'm an engineer. I made the code that randomized all the layers that he made and created, made all his beautiful art look amazing because it's all together now. And well, through knowing the Slice and being in Decentraland for a while now and being in the crypto space for years now, I'm also kind of in charge of this whole area, you know. And then my other cousin, he's in charge of more of the logistics and legal stuff on the real life side of things. So we would send these bottles to you. Obviously, this is obviously we would have to have a direct talk with whoever wins these giveaways to make sure it's someone, you know, legal drinking age and all these kinds of stuff. But yeah, we would make these bottles arrive to you.
So just on that legal part of the receiver. So a part of my development team and what we've worked on, you know, for us, because we have to, you know our customer, meaning that we got to authenticate it's you. There's some open API tools out there that you can use to cross-reference people's IDs. It's you know, that's just to point you in the right direction. You know, I could connect you to my CTO but you know, to help automate some of that stuff, because you know, if you know this begins to take off, to take, you know, let's say 1,000 calls or 1,000 emails to you know, authenticate that you're 21, you know, that's something that you might want to push onto a computer.
Definitely, we definitely want to automate the process. I'm gonna be in your DMs for that, man, for sure.
Cool. Great, more than happy to help, guys.
And moving a little on that same initial roadmap, and I'm very I put a lot of emphasis on the word initial because I don't like everything that I promise is something I want to deliver. So everything that is promised in our current initial roadmap is something that we can and will deliver. We already ran the numbers, something that we can do. So the end goal in our first little roadmap is to be able to bring people to Tequila Jalisco, to be able to get them, you know, pay for their flight. It would obviously be for a person and a +1. It's probably not that great if you just travel on your own. If you want to, that's good too. But bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring your friend, you know. We want to do at certain secondary volume sales, do giveaway to the community where we have people come to Tequila Jalisco, stay at a nice hotel, and just enjoy all the nice things that there is to do there. Have a nice little community gathering with all the tequila collectors that are already living here in Jalisco or in Mexico. We would try to organize so that they could all also go to tequila, and we could have a nice little community gathering, a nice little event, and in a way also bridge the Latin American and the overall American and English speaking NFT communities, which I feel like they're both there. And the Latin American one is growing so much. It's growing at a really good pace. I've been on some quite a few Spanish-speaking spaces now, which I didn't know were much of a thing, but they are. And I would love to have everything bridged and onboard new people. And I feel like all those values came to me from being in the slice for so long. Like Lostrom really, that's one of his things. Let's onboard more people. Let's help people. So huge shout out to him. Like I wouldn't be doing these things if it weren't for the slice. And it's amazing.
I've learned that NFTs are kind of the international language. It doesn't matter where you're at. It can just mold and group and just cut through any language barrier that you can see. And it also goes through multiple platforms. Like we're seeing tonight, just different experience from metaphysical to metaverse, just a real world application. Even real world application to get some tequila, in your system as well.
Yeah.
And then another one, a great friend of the show who's actually getting some major traction. David, how have we been? You've been knocking it out of the park here, man.
Hey, man.
Well, first of all, how about you give a little info onto the people on the panel that don't know you, and maybe your NFT background and the different aspect you're bringing into this space.
Yeah. Thanks, Nova. First off, it's awesome to be in this space with all of you guys, and just hearing all of your projects and your stories are just really, really important and represent a lot of what's going on in all different corners in the space. And I think it's really important that these types of rooms happen because we are really in, left, right field. My name is Davi Russo. I'm a born and raised New York kid. I have been working in film and entertainment and documentaries for the past 20 years. I am a union set stills photographer. I've worked on films like Blue Valentine and Light Between Oceans and other commercial projects over the past 20 years. I'm also a documentary director. I've worked with Lady Gaga and Demi Lovato and Kobe Bryant and many names that you guys are all familiar with. And I've had the opportunities to travel around the world and work inside of prisons and, in the markets of Ethiopia and, Hollywood, you name it. So, but that being said, when COVID happened, all jets got landed. And that was a really interesting time because I think for a lot of creators like myself who work in an industry that's really so tied up in, real life, making and being in these cramped sets, as you guys are all familiar, the film industry closed. And what really ended up happening was that Netflix and the other kind of streaming providers were able to kind of feed everyone their backlog of content and actually scrape the walls looking for content in every corner of the world that they could to keep people happy, and I think if anything that people have realized over the lockdown time is that there's such a real kind of importance for story and storytelling to kind of keep us going as humans. And so from a personal note, besides being super depressed and locked away in my tiny studio apartment here in the Lower East Side, it was a real honest opportunity to get back to art making for me because there wasn't much else to do. And so what I did was I decided that I wanted to start making, short films that could basically work in almost a commercial space, meaning a commercial time space. People are so scattered for time, and as we all know, nobody wants to read anything, and or people are not looking at things. And so I thought, being in crypto for the past few years and seeing how things were starting to change and understanding how NFTs were starting to come about earlier on in the year, I knew that I could easily put together a portfolio of photography, which I do intend to do, but I really wanted to challenge and see early on, like how cinema and how, moving pictures were going to start translating in the space. And so I decided to embark and make, a series of 24 short, very personal, very trauma kind of induced, what I call cine essay films. And they are essentially like my trauma stories, right? Over the lockdown, I went over my old photographs and I started repainting them, and I started kind of lacing them with like a trauma meta narrative, which is just a spoken word kind of piece. And most of these films are 15 seconds to 30 seconds.
The exit ramp. He said to her, "So many other people's lives seem to just flow in a perfect narrative. Mine has had so many stops and starts." She replied to him, "That's what trauma does. It interrupts the plot."
So that was one of them, so you could get a sense. And so what I did was I kind of started speaking to other creatives that I know, whether they're directors or cinematographers or editors or producers. And you guys, I don't have to tell you, right? Hollywood is frightened of what's happening at the moment, right? This space frightens Hollywood. You see Tarantino already wrapped up with Miramax. You probably understand that the unions are, if not all the major film unions around America are going through very, very difficult times in order to renegotiate these very, very bad old-fashioned types of contracts. And what you're going to have is a tremendous amount of very creative people rushing into this space very soon and try to make new Hollywood, right? In a way that they want to. And so I feel that the way that I want to position myself is, of course, first most as an artist, as someone who has a storytelling voice, as someone who's able to understand the space, someone who's actually in the space, who's grown up in the space. But then also a conduit, to bring, my producers and directors and to show them and to start pointing them and to connecting them to other types of projects, whether that's a tequila project, right? Or whether that is a home project, or whether that is a metaverse project. I think that filmmakers and storytellers are going to be needed,
Sorry about that. Go
That's
ahead.
that's okay. I'm sorry. I know it pops up automatically. But I think filmmakers and storytellers and writers are really going to need to be included in this space, and they're going to struggle a little bit at the beginning to try to figure out how to operate. But I think that that's why letting people know that it's here, and showing people that there's going to be value, I think, for whether they're fine art films that are going to play in galleries and metaverses, or they're going to eventually be content that Netflix and Apple and other types of streaming providers start linking into and start budgeting out and start actually creating content, or whatever we want to call this stuff. I think NFT cinema right now, or NFT film, seems to be kind of the going tag. But that being said, the thing that I'm actually the most excited about, because
I hate to stop you there. You mentioned that a while back. So take it and go with it. You claimed that term a while back with me on our show live. So take it and go with it, man. I mean, you created a form of new media that you've that you've been proud of and that you've shown. And part of that is almost the middle finger to the people that have
I absolutely agree.
for
I
such a
think
long time, because now he's going to be able to do it right.
it's so true that I feel already that the calls from producers who haven't called me for a year and a half now all of a sudden are like, "Hey, I hear you're doing this NFF thing. What is? Can you And it's funny, right? But the writing is on the wall, is that these people who are well connected are going to need viable ways in, and they're going to have a lot of money. And I just think for whether you're working in the metaverse, or whether you're working in product space, or whether you're working in things that will be very utility heavy, I think eventually you will find the Apples, the Netflixes, the Amazons will find their way to your door. The thing that I've gotten really excited about, because I have, like I said, a tremendous amount of creative friends who are all on the fence about this. And so I've been surfing around the DAO space, and I found myself accepted into a DAO a few weeks ago called Obscura. It's kind of branched off from Justin Aversano's DAO, which I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with him. If not, Crypto, Nova could easily, set him up. But
Got him on speed dial, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's a new DAO, and it's almost run like a photo licensing commissioning agency, and it's called Obscura. And so what Obscura did was they did a call out for 100 photographers to show up and to submit for a grant. They have awarded a $1,000 grant in DAI to 100 photographers. I am one of the selected photographers in that grant. And the commission is to go on out and to shoot 5 to 10 portraits of NFT crypto artist, creator, producer, engineers, whoever, Solidity, developers, to shoot those portraits, which will then go back into a pool, right, of 200 photographs. Those 200 photographs will be whittled down by the series of very talented international photo editors, museum gallerists, curators, and they're going to do a mint of those images as a timestamp of who some of these faces are in 2021, whether they're a crypto artist, whether again that they're a crypto, right? And it's such a good project because you're employing photographers who have been ass fucked for years by things like Instagram and just agencies no longer wanting to pay photographers, news agencies who are just firing tremendous amounts of people. What we're seeing right now is a tremendous, amazing use of how crypto can somehow inspire a group of people who have really been given it to sideways to show up, to do their best, to go on out, to produce new content, and to have it all funnel back into this system, which is just, it's probably the most exciting thing that I, as a creative person, am so excited. So this Wednesday, I'm out shooting my first artist, who is another photographer in South Brooklyn, and I have 6 other people on a list, that are all in the crypto space. If anybody in this room is from New York that I can get my hands on in the next 3 weeks, I would gladly reach on out and see if you'd be interested in doing a portrait and being part of this mint, this series. I think it could be an amazing natural thing that we can make and connect. But I just wanted to share that side of it because I think that, again, like everything that you guys were kind of speaking about seemed very metaverse heavy or very utility based heavy. I still think there's a tremendous space for creators, for stories, for films, for novels, you name it. And I just think that the thing that's missing is utility, right? And I think the people that really start figuring out utility, and the other thing that you guys were talking about earlier on, verification is going to be a major, major asset to how artists, whether they're very famous painters that need to have their paintings really verified through some kind of third party or through NFT, outside agent, or I don't have the answer for what that thing is, but I think that that's a huge space that's going to be a major kind of business for connecting the real world into whether those assets then become metaverse type, assets or any type of, connective tissue to what we're building here. So thanks again for the time, Nova. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited as a creator. I hope that you guys might take a moment to go take a look at some of the films that I've made. I have a lot more things that I have planned that, coming out with.
They look amazing. Love it.
Thank you so much.
Definitely check them out. This is great.
Cool, guys.
You keep up the hard work.
This is really inspiring.
I know what you're doing on the work on the tail end, trying to get more artists involved. That's what I loved about it. And you reached out to me right away, and I got you hooked up with Alkaline Sesh and a couple other people in the New York area. So have at it. One thing you might want to think about over in Brooklyn, I believe Williamsville. I'm not familiar with the area.
Yep.
They do have Mazna's NFT wall with all the graffiti art on there. So.
Oh, yes,
bring your friends out there, take a picture in front of that, then you can double dip. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's so genius, Novo. Thank you. That's a great, great, great move.
Well, I'm just following your lead, so you keep doing what you're doing out there. I love what you're doing in the space. Any questions? Any questions for him? We have so inspiring from Masses on there. You're getting some love from people online, offline, all over the place. So keep up the hard work, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
If you ever want to add stuff from other cultures to your collections and all the stuff you're doing, we would be happy to have you come over here and do something sick over here. It's that would be amazing.
Yes,
I'm sure you could get some really awesome shots. the fields of agave plants. And
I was just thinking that. Yeah, those agave plants are beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. And the fields are just amazing. It'd be great. Don't hesitate to reach out.
So CryptoPjr, your project's exactly the type of project I feel like you could benefit from figuring out a way to commission artists to help tell stories that become part of the whole ecosystem that you're building, right? Because I think that that's what alcohol or any type of spirit-based thing, if anybody here has ever spent over $100 for a bottle, it's because you're either getting pussy or plain and simple, it's like you've really fallen in love, right? You've really fallen in love with what it makes you feel, right? And that's storytelling. And I think that that's the big difference when we go into any kind of liquor store and we look against the wall. So your project, I think, has such I love that. I have a lot of friends. My wife is Japanese for 20 years, so we've taken tours all throughout Japan, and we've gone to breweries in Japan, and we've had like full-on experiences, and we've met brewers. And funny enough, when I was on Nova's Spot the other day, and I saw you queuing up this project, I forwarded along to one of my friends who's a big Japanese sake sommelier here in New York, and I said, "You better fucking get on this because this is the future." Yo, hell yeah! So I was already aware of your project thanks to Novo and this type of space, and I would love to just keep the conversation open, and if I could come and be a supporter or build a story or do a series of portraits or whatever. It would be a really beautiful, natural thing, and we could figure out a way to make that happen, man. Yes,
well,
definitely.
The story of tequila, which I did learn last time from CryptoPjr. Yes, I learned something from a Borat. Besides that movie.
Very nice.
I'm gonna mess this all up. This will be a good transition to CryptoPjr here in a minute. But where the gods actually did create some type of havoc to destroy the plants, what actually turned into tequila. Is that correct, CryptoPjr? I got the cliff notes right. Is that correct? At least
that was a good gist of it. Basically, there was a thunderstorm and thunderstruck fields of agave, and they were all burning. And the little liquid that came out of the agave, the natives, they fermented it and then they drank it, and they were like, "Whoa, this fucked me up." So they came to the conclusion that the gods of inebriation gave them this gift. That thunder was a gift for them. Tequila was that gift. In 1538 was the year where this supposedly happened, which is why our collection is 1538 bottles, and 01538 was supposed to be the purchase price, but OpenSea rounds that up to 0154. So we decided to round it down to 0153 because that's not cool, So.
So
I think there's so many
interesting behind it. Maybe we can get those captured in pictures somewhere down the road because it just adds to the story. It adds to the story.
Hey Novo, quickly. Sorry to do this, but I'm gonna have to hop. I wanted to thank you for having me on here and just hearing everyone's story. Everyone's doing killer stuff. Really excited to hear about it. I'm gonna check everyone out too.
I'm gonna check everybody out too. Thank you so much.
I appreciate your guys' time. Definitely link up with the
thanks, guys.
to on the side because great ideas from you guys as well in this. And sometimes a lot of this turns into like almost on-air live business meeting where we can pass ideas around.
Hell yeah, let's do it again.
Well, so, I'm joining all your Discords. Come join us at ChibiLabs and find us. I'm under HBizzle on Discord. Be happy to work with all you guys.
I greatly appreciate your guys' time. We'll talk with you guys soon. Peace. But we're going to transition over here to CryptoPjr.
Thank you.
CryptoPjr, back at it again. I got to get my extraterrestrial love here because I cannot keep up with all the things going on. And one thing to do is just get this information and the latest and greatest. And I love hearing about it first time. So what do we got going on? What do we have in the alien and extraterrestrial world here?
What we got going on is some great stuff. We're going to take a little flashback to the past. We're talking about NFTs, Web3, but let's go back before even that. Some of these things people see, we're going to go back to Nuremberg, Germany, April 14th, 1561. For over an hour, people wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun turns blood red. Shapes, crosses, orbs, discs, delta discs, flying across, having a battle, it looks like, to the people there. This shocked many people. I don't know if you could see the screenshot I have. This was written down and recorded, but for over an hour, the people saw these amazing sights. It appeared to them some kind of aerial battle. Of course, this is 500 years ago. They had no idea about aircraft or whatnot. They thought this was the end of the world. The sun was turning red. Orbs fighting with other orbs, crashing to the ground, smoke going up. After an hour of this shocking sight in the skies, silence came when a large triangular craft, well, they didn't know it was a craft, they call it a spearhead, flew over, and all of a sudden everything stopped. Now, days leading up to this, many people were found missing in the local woods, small children. We don't know what this is. Now, an exciting kind of supernatural paranormal fact about this was, many years later in World War II, there was a giant aerial battle in April of 1945. Could this have been dimensional bleeding over or some kind of space-time rift that they saw? Or did we see a UFO battle? Now, the story doesn't end here, because about 5 years later, a little down south in Switzerland, the people of Basel, Switzerland, woke up to the same thing. Orbs flying around. There was crosses in the air. They saw triangular shapes. Now, this is, all could be conceived into an NFT to bring it back into that. You can imagine this, but these are some shocking things. And because in the honor of Thanksgiving, we're, looking back and giving thanks. Well, thanks that this wasn't some kind of invasion, because, yeah, that would have been pretty bad. I'm sure the people there would have liked a little tequila after seeing this, but they were.
You know what? That's what I was going to mention to you, is that time frame is within like 10 years of what was happening in Mexico as well. I mean,
Good
it could have been
point.
very similar to what happened. I mean, it might have been not been lightning from the sky. These crafts could have maybe landed in these epic fields and actually, ferment these things from the radiator heat or whatever the heck's got
That's
going.
crazy. Yeah. The timeline adds up.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at some of the Mayan temples, the Aztec temples of the region, and this has probably been talked a lot on those ancient astronaut type shows, but they all line up. The corners of all these ancient pyramids and temples around the world, near to the equator, all line up geometry wise. And there's just some amazing, I mean, some of the mounds down there, it's amazing. And how would they know how to build this without an elevated view of these giant Aztec cities, these giant Mayan cities? And just who knows what's still buried in, let's say, the Amazon region. For years they've been doing ground scans with radar and all kinds of infrared, and they're consistently finding new areas, new civilizations, new cultures that have just been lost to time. I mean, to be honest with you, most people, what do we know? The last 500,000 years, human history is so long, and we don't even know what happened before then. There had to be a plan or some kind of help along the way.
Well, that help right now, maybe it's, I always believe in like some type of like time travel. And I think that we're just getting it faster and faster algorithm with our technology, where we'll be able to figure that out through maybe using some type of astrophysics, stuff that we haven't even learned about yet. Because I mean, just think about placing ourselves 5 years ago, or just simple cell phone technology, to where we were 5 years ago till now. And then, replace that with 10 years ago, and how fast and quick these things are coming and going. So, I mean,
it's insane. It's exponential. It's crazy. I work, well, my normal job, I work in the tech industry. I work for a silicon developer, Team Blue. And yeah, it's crazy how insane it is, how the technology has advanced. It's mind blowing.
What
it
is
really
that,
is.
that law? Is it, where
Moore's law?
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, the number of transistors doubles every 4 years, 2 years. I don't remember. I should probably know that a little more.
It actually, went from every 2 years to every year to every 6.
It's exponential. You just look at the graph, and it's like looking at the Bitcoin graph.
Yeah, the orders of magnitude are getting there, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Absolutely. It brings us into are we, how are we this lucky to live in this time and age when things are accelerating so fast? Is it luck, or is this, we're already in Web 16 and we're all in some kind of, pods like somehow like the Matrix or something like that? We don't know. Who knows?
We're all part of some NFT collection that someone else made.
Very well.
This isn't real.
Very well could be. I mean, you're talking about tequila. You got a guy dressed as an alien. Come on. What kind of show is that? So who knows?
Chariots of the gods, right?
Absolutely. Food of the gods, unfortunately.
This is the show where we have fun. That's why I'm glad to have you on to talk about these things, because it just gets my mind, maybe off of crypto for a couple of minutes, but it always gets branched back into NFTs and crypto, as you can say. So I appreciate it. Right there it says universes giving birth to baby verses. Yep. And you got the Novo verse here as well. From all the way going all the way back from having Rob on with let's see if I can get the screen up real quick. The Neon Demons, man, that's going to be some cool stuff. I can't wait to see that. And that's one that I was lucky to get in super early, thanks to JRR Token, to get on that, get myself one of those pizza drivers. And if you need to get in on that, you can get on their Discord is the best way to get the latest information. And as you can see, the countdown is kind of coming on. The pre-sale is 11:30, which is in about 9 days. And then there you go in the public sale, the 1st of December, which is some pretty cool stuff. And here's the end of the world drivers right here. End of the world pizza drivers right here. As you can see, the floor is at a quarter ETH. And then the neons, man, those are looking pretty sharp.
They're all, and they're all part of the same universe, so it's gonna be dope. Can't wait to play.
I fell in love with this. I really did. These demons. Cool. Oh god. I can't wait for a Novoverse filter for these. I'll definitely hit you guys up once I get mine.
Interesting.
Perfect. I need one too.
We are planning to do 3D versions of the driver, so you could wear them too. That's another
beautiful
fun thing that we'll be doing. I just want to say thanks again. Sorry I was quiet for a little bit. I actually had to eat dinner. I'm like starving and not feeding myself enough. But I've been listening.
You don't eat NFTs for dinner? You don't eat NFTs for dinner? It's all right.
You got to get that upgrade so that we can just live on NFTs and no sleep. That's what I really want. Just get rid of sleep and still be able to be okay. That would be great.
Just plug in and go ahead. Just clone yourself. Have one of your Neon Demons be cloned there. They can take care of the delivery service for you. Get your comic books out there. Get your demons out there. But thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks again, guys.
With their whole metaverse collection, 3 different collections adding up to something major. Man, they got some pretty big followers there. 22,000. They're hopping in. They're making things. They're making things right. Because I saw. For lack of a better term, what I call is the Ewok village that they dropped in Decentral.
Yeah, that was cool.
Just sweet. And then as you can see, they're trying to make this right with 360 degrees all the way around. You can see from nose to tail right there. They're decking them out. So make sure you're checking them out as well on their Discord. That's probably the best place to get the greatest information. But if not, just right on Twitter right there. And it will help you guide you where you need to be. And then also on OpenSea as well, so that you can give them some love if you want some secondary sales on some cool looking NFTs. That's a pretty neat one.
That's a nice eye patch.
And then heck, they had GT Dog right here just shooting out the live filter as we're streaming with us in the background. That's
cool.
That's cool. That's what we're going to see more and more of, is having these things more usable, user friendly. And then of course, homes on chain. Fatal Raydell, you want to talk anything
Genius.
about it before
Love that.
we peace out? Because I want to talk again with you and right after the first of the year and see how how things are going with you.
Yeah, sure. Just go to the website, get on Twitter, get on the Discord. We definitely need some more help in the Discord to grow the community. And keep an eye on our website. We'll be updating our roadmap. Will be posted here soon, which will, I think, give a lot more information on just the generational aspect of this, and then what the real life utilities will be with this project. So appreciate everyone's time. Thanks for having me, Novo. I also know that Skyline was wondering if we're still going to do this on Tuesday. So
yeah, let's sit up on Tuesday. We'll bring you guys on Tuesday. We can talk a little bit more and get some more nuts and bolts in this for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, because he's really our NFT specialist that's been driving this, and is really excited about this project too.
So you're the face and good look of the operation, and he's the brains.
I don't know. I don't know about that, man. No. He's the marketing guy. I think he wears a suit better than I do. So
there you go. I got my monkey suit on right now, but we'll catch up with you. We'll jam again here on Tuesday. NFT Tequila Crypto Borat. What's going on, my friend?
Yo, thank you for having us here. It's amazing, man.
It's always fun having a fellow slicer on the cast with us. You're always invited back. We have a couple ideas here. Some photography.
Can I ask him one just question, Borat?
Yeah,
of course.
Sure.
Maybe think about dropping like a bottle of Sangrita with these too, right, man?
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Tequila, man.
Hey, why not both?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean that's so many ways to expand. I really this project is our baby, and we want to grow it so much, and we want to give so much value to the holders. I'm very happy with. I'm a lot about having utility on projects. I like investing in projects that have utility. Like with the Chibis, I love the Chibis, and when they talked about the utility right now, that I really hadn't dived into it too much yet. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So yeah, and thanks a lot to. We've had a few buyers already. We had a mystery buyer. I don't know who he was. He took 3 of the really rare looking bottles. I know we had JRR was our first, our second technically, because I bought the first bottle. I was our own first customer. I had to take it, but JR here took the second one, and I appreciate it so much. And we will.
Of course, I definitely snag a super rare one. So
yeah, that's really good looking.
My pleasure.
Hop on. You got it right here on OpenSea. All right. You got the non-fungible tequila right there. And then also the photographer, the man on a mission right now, because he's going to be pulling some more photographers in on the NFT space. And it's starting soon. So if you are in the NFT space and you, want to be presented in any form or fashion, if you're another photographer or if you're maybe a dev working on a project or out there doing that street art, you can get connected. And when are you going to be doing these shoots? Are you going out like this weekend and doing it right before Thanksgiving?
Yeah. So I have a deadline of December 9th to turn in up to 10 to possibly 12. That's an insane number. Different subjects to be part of this, this amazing timestamp of faces, of what this community is. So again, if you hear this, if you see this, if you're in New York, and if you want to make a picture, and you don't even have to reveal yourself. I know that a lot of people don't want to. We can make a picture without showing your face and still, make sure that you are included, because I think that is a huge part of what's going on as well. And it will be a great way to kind of, again, put a future, thumbprint on what's going on. Yeah. I'm a firm believer that the metaverse is not made up of bits. It's made up of stories, and it's the stories that we're all writing and the stories that we're telling and the stories that we're making right now. So I encourage everyone here to just keep writing your story.
It's kind of crazy, and they just lead into CryptoPjr here, but like one, like the Aversano piece I have, and people don't know this, and Justin Aversano's seen that piece that I have in my collection, and he's told me he must have looked at it a million times. And on the back of the piece I own, I guess I can pull it up, but anyhow, it's two twins wearing baseball jerseys, and you can't see their faces, and it has their numbers 311 on the back. And then when I buy your piece right off the get-go, and I didn't know the name of it at all, I saw it, keep your mask on at all times. I don't know, man. That's just like that's the move I pulled out in New York. So it's weird how cosmic this can go. And what better way to, I guess, end it off with a guy, not wearing an AR mask, but an alien mask here. CryptoPjr, any words of wisdom for us extraterrestrials out there?
I just want you to keep watching the skies and, metaverse, universe, NFTs, whatever it is, UFOs, UAPs. Just keep an open mind and, in your words, love life and be positive.
That's right. You got it. You got it, my friends. And, we're going to be doing this again next Tuesday, right before, people start having some days off for the holidays, and we got to enjoy those holidays. And I'm going to play some JRRtokenNFT is my outro music, but I want to thank everyone again. And
thank you for having us, man. This is amazing as always.
Thanks for having us, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
I love JR's AR filter. It's amazing.
So cool.
All right, it's Crypto Novo saying stay positive and love life. Peace.
Peace out, guys.